In this 3-part series, I'm going to show you how to create and sell your own apparel mockups just like this one. This is a 3-part series. In part 1, we cover the tool itself. In part 2, we build the mockup, and in part 3, we put it up for sale. Links to all 3 parts are in the description. Before we start, I've linked a free mockup blueprint pack in the description with everything you need to help you get started. Let's start. Photopea is a free alternative to Photoshop to edit and manipulate your images and create designs. This runs in a web browser across any device, from laptops to tablets and smartphones. Find the Photopea link from the video description below. To start working in Photopea, you can simply open a new project. To open a blank project and use whichever set of the preset sizes that are here, or you can set your own height and width and just click create and you will have a new project. Or you can choose open from computer and choose any file or image that you have in your computer. Also, you can go to file, open, and choose another file to open it in a parallel tab to the same one that you have. You can switch between them using the tabs right here. The interface and features of Photopea are similar to Photoshop. On the left side, you have all these tools that you can use to edit your image. And some of them have a white corner to show that you can expand it and open the collection of tools sitting inside it. On top, you have the menu bar and the options for whichever tool you have enabled from the left side. The central workspace or canvas shows the image that you are working on. You can zoom in and out by holding Alt and moving the mouse wheel up and down. Also, you can click the mouse wheel and move around to move the canvas also. To resize an image, simply go to Image, Image Size, and enter the size that you want. For example, let's say 500. Then it will automatically change the height to keep the same ratio of the image. Now let's say, for example, you want to change to a very specific size and you don't want to keep the ratio. So simply uncheck this button here which says keep aspect ratio. So once you uncheck it, you can freely enter whatever size you want here, for example 200, and the other size will remain the same without changing. Just click OK and it will apply it to the image. To crop the image, simply go to the crop tool and drag the nodes to choose the size that you want. Or you can also click from the outside to rotate the image like this. Also, if you want to crop a certain place inside the image, simply click and drag and make a selection so you can crop inside the image. And then once you made the selection, click the check mark to confirm the crop. If it is wrong or you want to change it, click the X button. So if you click the check mark, it changes like this. If at any point you make a mistake you want to undo, simply press Ctrl Z to go back, or you can simply click here to go back. So here you can change between the actions that you have done. With Photopea, you can also draw freehand. Simply choose the brush or the pencil tool from the tools on the left side, and then on the top side you get the options for it. You can change the size of the brush like this, and you can change the brush hardness or shape of it from these options right here, and you can also change the opacity, the flow of the brush, and simply choose the color from here to draw with whichever color you want. Drawing on the same image, sometimes it's bad because it permanently affects the image. So If you want, you can add a new layer using this button, new layer, and then simply make the drawings on the new layer. So this way, the drawings will stay on the new layer and will not affect your image itself. And if you want to remove them, simply uncheck the eye icon to hide this layer and check it again to add something in it. Also, when you are adding a text, it also adds on a new layer. So for example, let's say I want to add a text here. From here you change the size and you also choose the color. Let's use the same pink and let me add something here. So it went a little outside the canvas, but simply you can choose the move tool to move it back where you want it. And as you can see, we have a new layer here with the text and a layer that we created that has the brush strokes on it. So you can just simply hide this to hide the brush strokes, and hide this to hide the text that we've added. With the eraser tool, you can delete pixels by brushing over any image or drawing based on the layer selected. So for example, let's say I want to erase the text right here, and I click, for example, a different layer. Let's say I click the background layer, which is the image itself, and then I click. It will delete from the background itself, but it will not affect any of the other layers that are selected. Now see, if I choose the text layer and then delete, this will happen. It will delete the text, but it will not affect the image under it. Even if I click right here on this brush strokes, it will not affect it. And if you delete in the image itself with nothing behind it, it will show you the checkerboard which shows transparency. Now let me show you how to add a gradient to your image if you want to. You go to here, it's in the same group with the bucket tool. You click on the gradient tool. From here you choose the gradient type that you want, and then you simply choose the color from here, and let's say I want black. And then you click on the image and drag from left to right or wherever you want it. And then simply a gradient will be applied to the image. And let me expand on the text tool. If you added text to the image, let's say like this, and you want to change its details, you can change the font from here. Choose whatever font you want, and you can choose the size from here and the color. And to change the color of a text that you have already typed, simply highlight it, click on the color, and then move it and choose whichever color you want. And then click on confirm. Also, regarding the layers, if you want to change their order, simply click it and drag it around. That will change the order of the layers and their visibility. And if you want to move two objects together, simply highlight both the layers by clicking Ctrl or Shift and clicking both the layers, and then click the Move tool and drag around. They will move together. Now, let me move this text right here to show you the effects that you can add. If you want to add effects to a layer, whether it's an image or a text or whatever, you can simply just double click on the layer. It will open for you the layer style option menu. From here, you can add plenty of effects to the image, like stroke, bevel and emboss, inner glow, outer glow, pattern overlay, drop shadow. There are plenty of options here, and each one has its own menu and customization details that you can add. Now let me show you a different thing. Let me hide this layer. You can add plenty of adjustments to your image. First, you have to select the layer that you want to apply the adjustments for, and simply go to Image, Adjustments. You have plenty of things here that you can choose from to change in the image. For example, you can choose the hue and saturation to change the saturation levels of the image. Or if you want to change the brightness and contrast, you can do it also from here. Also, there is an adjustment called curves. Now, this adjustment lets you change the levels in the image with different ways and different styles, and in so many ways that you can think of. And also, one small trick that not many people know, that you can apply adjustments to certain parts of the image. All you have to do is make a selection using any selection tool. So for example, I'm going to use the rectangular select and select this area. Then simply go to Image, Adjustments, and let's say Hue and Saturation. Let's increase the saturation of this particular rectangle of the image, and then simply go to Select, Deselect to remove the selection. And always, when you are done with something, anything, no matter what it is, always click the Move tool. Let this be the default selection for you, so that you don't click on anything or add something like an accidental brush stroke or a selection or a crop or anything to the image without noticing it. Finally, let's say for argument's sake, the image is done and you want to export it and save it. So you have two options, or more than one option actually. In Photopea, you go to File, and first you can save the PSD file. So if you save the PSD file, it will reserve all the adjustments and effects that you have added and the layers of your project. So you simply click Save and it will save it for you. But to open the PSD, you have to open it in Photopea. Or if you want to export the image as itself only, go to Export As and choose whichever type you want. PNG, JPEG, SVG, PDF, whichever one you want. For example, if you go to the PNG, you write the name right here and you double check the settings and click Save. It will go directly to the downloads option in your PC. And just like this, you can open the image like that. Okay, now that part 1 is completed, go ahead and click the link below to jump into part 2, where we create the actual mockups. And don't forget to grab the free blueprint pack that I linked in the description.